What up? Definitely that. Oh. Hey, how we doing? Projection, nice. Projection. Only people that would say that without even knowing anyone, that's projection. So let's examine you. What do you want to deflect from, dude, by calling everyone else gay? What are you deflecting from? What insecurity are you deflecting from? Alrighty, the white. Oh, I need to go turn that on. What are we cleaning up? Clutter. These hypocrites. I bet your place is looking styling. You probably don't even have your own place. Alrighty. It's chilly this morning. In my bathroom, I just left the bathroom and it's hot in here. I can feel like the huge difference.
Doesn't matter. 365 days a week. There's a baseboard heater right by your feet. If you follow this wall, always on. Doesn't matter if I turn that thermometer off or not.
Damn.
Always on.
Well, I just looked at I was looking at my temp before I came out. It was like 72, and I have it off.
Yeah, you know what it is, right?
That boiler. That's what I figured. That bathroom gets so hot.
Well, the guy who lives down there,
Yep.
Sean,
Yep.
he told one of the maintenance guys how to fix it, and for 3 weeks, it worked.
Wow.
He said it had something to do with it was well, you put it up. Can't think of the word. That's horrible.
That's all right. It's early. But he knew anyways, huh?
He knew what it was. They went in and replaced it.
Not a problem.
3 weeks to a month. You could use that thermometer, or not that thermometer, that thermostat.
Thermostat, yeah.
And it worked perfectly.
Wow. Makes me wonder around here. Hi man, hey, have a good one. Yeah, I'm assuming they're gonna fix those.
You go over by the office, you'll see where they've done that.
And I saw some markings over on this side too. Huh. Well, that'd be nice. You too, man. We'll catch you probably this evening at least. You too, man. I'm done. All right. Go white. I mean, I like my neighbor and everything, but oh, do I have both cell phones? All right.
opportunity economy. An economy where
Opportunity.
everyone can compete and have a real chance to succeed. Under my plan, more than 100 million Americans will get a tax cut. Donald Trump, he wants to impose a national sales tax. And the ability
continue to say that we don't live in socialism, that we live in true free market capitalism, and we'll never be a socialist country. But Florida Maquis, those things have additives, and they are banned in Europe. They are banned in Europe. Coca-Cola, and chocolate cake, and minute rice, and
Good reason not to
white
go to that fucking
bread,
place.
and Kraft salad dressing, and oh, so now European socialism is good because Europeans ban all of this stuff. Oh, okay. So then now European socialism is good. Well, that's not what I'm saying, Monkey. So when the government intervenes in the free market, when the government intervenes in the free market in order to make society better for everyone as a whole,
That's socialism.
let's see, an ideology arguing that citizens are best served by policies focusing on meeting the basic needs of the entire society
Socialism.
rather than on serving them. That's interesting. And this is my favorite. Candy on the chopping board. Yellow number 6, yellow number 5, blue number 1, red
that.
number 40. Oh, red number 40. Oh, red number 40. I'll tell you what. It's linked to hyperactivity. That's right. Giving kids unending amounts of sugar, like Swedish Fish, M&Ms,
Oh, man.
Oreos, Gatorade,
Come
Mountain Dew, Pop-Tarts, causes hyperactivity. News at 11. It's the additives. It's not giving them an entire package of Oreos and then wondering why they're behaving like they're behaving. Is red dye number 40 contributing to your child's behavioral issues?
It's called sugar.
Now, little Johnny, when you flipped off your third grade teacher today and told her to go do something that you should, I know that it was red dye number 40 that did it, little Johnny. It wasn't your fault that I gave you 8,500 grams of sugar before you left the house. It's your teacher. It's your teacher's fault. I mean, it has nothing to do with not doing this. No, whatever. I mean, it's just absolutely bizarre. All you Gen Xers out there, tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm wrong. You give any kid cupcakes and Fruit Loops and frosting, Doritos and Juju. What do you think is going to happen to their behavior? And yes, when you eat an entire freaking box of cereal 3 days a week, I'll bet you're probably going to have some side effects.
Politicians are all talk, especially this one. The worst part is, Kamala Harris talks out of both sides of her mouth. She said she'd give us free health care.
I strongly believe that we need to control.
Then she gave up. She said she'd give us good paying jobs and a break on tuition.
It will create jobs and opportunity.
But she gave up again and again. We don't matter. And she doesn't care. Kamala Harris is all talk. Reject her empty promises.
When you drink 2 liters of Mountain Dew a day, I'll bet you're going to have some side effects. I knew people that used to drink 2 liters of Mountain Dew a day, and you know what they were doing? Up of houses hammering in roofs,
Yep. Yeah.
burning every ounce of it out. They weren't sitting in front of a computer screen all day, scrolling and swiping and scrolling and swiping. They were playing football. They were going to the beach.
Yeah,
they were going for a run, working their ass off. Bricklayers and plaster drywallers, framers, and these guys could pound that kind of stuff down all day long because they were burning it.
Exactly. They weren't sitting around.
This is socialism on steroids. You mark my words, you start down this road, and basically all you're going to have in 5-10 years is government-approved food patty number 3 is now available at your local grocery store.
Yeah.
All of you in subgroup 5
Yep.
with authorized social media accounts may now proceed to your local grocery store for government-approved food patty number 5 in your allotted amounts. Anyone caught attempting to sell on the black market your government-approved food patty number 5 to anyone not authorized to have government-approved food patty number 5, this is what's coming. Banning food additives. It's just... tell me where I messed up. Tell me where I messed up. Freedom is messy. People drink. People... The girl on the right here, over here, she's a congressman from Florida. And a lot of people took her to task over this. She made herself a Make America Great Again bathing suit, and she put it on her social media and raised a bunch of money off of it. People make decisions. They do things. And sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. People like, people don't like.
Exactly. People do things. Exactly.
What are you going to do? Yes, things are expensive for sure. But when you say it's government's job to have the power to, and I want to get the quote right. I mean, and you can look this up. When you give somebody the power in government to sign executive orders directing cabinet secretaries and agency heads to intervene in the free market in order to cause a certain effect on the free market. How in the world is that not socialism? I'm from the government, and I'm here to help. You can't discipline your kids? We'll blame the makers of Cheetos. Yep, it's flaming hot Cheetos. Because God knows back in the 70s, nobody ate Cheetos.
Yeah.
There was just as many food colorings in Flamin' Hot. Well, there weren't Flamin' Hot Cheetos back then, but there were Cheetos.
Cheetos, yep.
Just that orange. Nobody was under the delusion that the orange crap in your hand anything else than. We didn't have the problems back in the 70s and the 80s, and yes, there were dyes in food.
Yep.
We do. There's dyes in Gatorade. There are all sorts of stuff. One thing we didn't have back then, though, was essential workers and, I guess then by definition, non-essential workers. And there were quite a few more prohibitions and restrictions back then on this than there are now. I know a lot of people don't think so, but back then, back in the 70s and 80s, this was known as, how many of you heard this term? Packaged liquor. Why do you think it's called packaged liquor? Why do you think it's called... You know what? I'm going to let somebody down in the comments section explain why it's called packaged liquor.
Oh, man, come on, dude. I don't want to read the comment section.
You see the sign that says packaged liquor on your local liquor store? You know what that means? I'll bet you there's people out there who are probably 40 years old that don't understand what that term means.
I don't. I'm 44.
And why it was put into place the way it was. Liquor stores were treated basically in the exact same way as adult gentlemen's clubs were back then. Virtually the exact same way. And I'll leave that there. So, join us. Patreon. Love to have you. It's only $1. It's only $1. You want to save some money and have it be less than $1 a month? Sign up for an entire year.
I did. I have.
If you really want to go to the next level, sign up for the $5 level. Believe me, you won't be disappointed. It'll be refreshing. God bless. Pray for each other. Pray for me.
Check out his YouTube
Lift each other
channel.
up. Like, share, subscribe. See you guys next time.
It's back to school season and back to cough and cold season. We got you. We're Kinder Men. We've got proven.
If you're expecting the world to be fair with you simply because you are fair, you are fooling yourself. That's like expecting a lion not to eat you because you just. When I hear full-grown adults prattling on behalf of a billionaire about how unfair this other thing is, it shows me that those people have clearly never had to work for anything in their life. And they have had things handed to them. Look no further when you talk about unfairness than these 4 channels. Lindley Oz, the Patriot Nurse, Abby Martin, Jennifer Veterans for Truth. Since 2017 and 18, the level of unfairness that has been visited upon them, nobody is going to bat for. Oh, people will go out and cry and moan and whine about how unfair life has been for a billionaire who thinks he's not being treated fairly in the media. But there's people here on this screen that are barely surviving now, barely able to live because of the real unfairness that's been visited upon them for simply just sharing their opinion. That's it. All I've done is show information that I don't think a lot of people have heard, and people have accused me of being unfair to the billionaire. It's this concept known as both sidesism. Well, if you say X amount of negative things about Mr. Trump, Florida Maquis, I better expect to hear X amount of negative things about Kamala Harris. Well, if you're hearing nothing but negative things about Donald Trump all day, it sounds like you listen to the liberal media. If you're hearing nothing but negative things about Kamala Harris, it sounds like you're listening to right-wing media. So whatever you're complaining about not getting enough of is evidence of where you are. And besides, should we have allowed both sidesism when it came to Mr. Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell? Should we have allowed someone to say, okay, well, here's the pro-pedophile argument. Here's the argument about why what we think we did was actually perfectly fine and not against the law. I mean, with everybody reporting on Ghislaine Maxwell and what happened, and Epstein, and Donald Trump wishing them well, I suppose someone could make that allegation that that's both sidesism, right? Now, here's the part that's going to blow your mind. Ronald Reagan's FCC abolished something called the Fairness Doctrine, which, since 1949, required media to present both sides' opinions in the rare event they weren't just reporting straight news, like a tornado hit the town next over or something like that. A Democrat-controlled Congress passed a bill to reinstate the Fairness Doctrine in 1987. Reagan vetoed the bill. Wait a minute. Ronald Reagan? What? Why would he have done? That doesn't make any. I don't get. You see, there was the idea that this could actually violate people's freedom of speech. That if people didn't want to say super nice things about their opponent, they didn't have to. Okay, well, I guess that kind of makes sense. So we go back to here. Life's not fair. Life is not fair. It's not meant to be fair. Because if someone was forcing fairness...
I want to buy your house. I can pay you cash for your house, no matter what condition it's in. If you need to sell your house for any reason, click the link in this video to see if my offer is right for you. We make the process of selling your house easy and simple. No commissions, no fees. We'll buy your house in as-is condition. and you pick the closing date. No appraisals, no repairs, no hassles. All offers are completely confidential, and there is no obligation whatsoever. Click the link in this video and fill out a short survey so we can make you a cash offer. If you're struggling to sell your house, this is the fastest and easiest way to get money into your pocket ASAP. And yes, we will really buy your home in any condition. We've dealt with it all. Click the link now to see how much cash you can get for your house today. Best case scenario, you get rid of a huge pain in your butt in record time with a nice chunk of change in your pocket. What do you have to lose? Click the link and answer a few questions to get your cash offer now.
For over 140 years, Wolverine has been building boots that go above and beyond comfort and quality. After all, those who wear our boots go above and beyond in their work. So as long as these doers keep outdoing, you can trust Wolverine to keep over-delivering. That's the powerful commitment.
Fairness. They would be taking away your right to have an opinion, meaning you would then have to espouse something that you didn't agree with. Now think about this again. YouTube being this huge place where there are all sorts of people with all sorts of ideas and all sorts of opinions on anything and everything. Being this clearinghouse, why would people who were in charge of the platform decide to step in and pick winners and losers? I mean, isn't that what happened to Epstein, really? Didn't somebody step in and say, well, you know, there's both sides to what he wanted to do? You see, that's the key there. That's where things get a little bit murky now. That's battlefield of the mind. Thinking about things in that context. The idea of complaining about things being unfair to a billionaire in life is something that might be the single greatest piece of evidence we have that Americans no longer think. They just feel. It's just emotions. It's just the idea that, gosh, everything should just be always split right down the middle. It's just sophomore. Now, if you'd like to learn how to go back to what it was like when you were actually thinking and not feeling, join us, Florida Monkey Patreon channel. $1 per month. Even less if you sign up for an entire year. Fully refundable first 90 days, no questions asked. The first thing that you need to learn is how thinking actually works. Many people out there are just being led about by their emotions here and there and everywhere, and they believe they're thinking. When really all they're doing is just following their emotions. There's a really, really great article out here that delineates this, talking about how Donald Trump can go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth on this exact same topic, first being for freedom, then against freedom, then for fairness, then against fairness, then saying that he's being picked on, but then also bragging about why he's not being picked on, all literally within the same breath sometimes. It's technology and marketing, blah, where you can go back through all of these different things and see him literally arguing with himself over the whole net neutrality is the fairness doctrine. Net neutrality being the fairness doctrine, being against that, but then also complaining that life is unfair and he's being treated unfairly all the time. It's an amazing thing to see. Now, it does, however, object from Washington, D.C. that diverge from mainstream narrative. See, what they've done now is they said there's mainstream approved narrative of those on the right and a mainstream approved narrative of those on the left. And very rarely do they ever come together in unanimity. However, they do in this particular subject, Venezuela. Talk about unfair. A U.S. SEAL, a U.S. Navy SEAL, along with a very clandestine group of people from around the world, and hundreds of rifles have been picked up, confiscated, and brought into possession of the Venezuelan government. And of course, what do we know? What do we know? Of course, here we are, mainstream media. U.S. says claims of CIA plot to kill Maduro, just like Hillary Clinton tried to do, just like Barack Obama tried to do, just like Donald Trump tried to do, are categorically false after Venezuela arrests 6 foreigners, including a U.S. Navy SEAL. Why was a U.S. Navy SEAL in Venezuela to begin with? Oh, because there's a story. There's a story. It goes, be careful what you wish for, you might just get it. You know how Donald Trump's been talking about, we're going to deport, largest deportation, largest, all this kind of stuff? Well, strange story. Many people are actually returning to Venezuela. You see, well, this is proof of what this channel reported so many years ago, that Washington, D.C. was trying to force Venezuela to dollarize its economy and get rid of its own sovereign currency because they wanted control of the economy and then eventually direct control of the oil and the gold. Now, when you read through these stories of people who fled and then went back, you'll find something very strange in one of these reports. This guy was a musician. He said, you know, the pandemic's not cruises. Garcia returned home to visit his family. He was struck by how much Venezuela changed. I was in shock at first, he said. Suddenly, people changed too. I came back and everything had to be paid in dollars. Wow! Imagine that. You see, the same charge of the government. They're still a socialist country. But now everything is done with dollars, and all of a sudden things are all sorts of way better again.
Fire menu, 5 items, 5 levels, so you can do you. Level 1's like proof of exactly everything I reported. Were people leaving? Yes. Was socialism the cause? No. Was U.S. sanctions and the U.S. wanting to take over their economy the reason? Yes. And all of a sudden people are going back to Venezuela. Things are better in Venezuela. I don't want to go back to the United States anymore. My family's everything. Being away from them was too hard. These are quotes. This guy teaches German in Venezuela. This guy went back because of his mom. This guy we just covered. I feel great here. I wouldn't leave my family and country again. I felt really lonely. She said, here, I have my family's support. I have a house here now. I know the people around my neighborhood. It's easier to find a job. My children are happy, more than happy. She said, I felt peace. Now, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting that the one delineator now that makes the difference is the forced dollarization of the economy down there? They aren't capitalist free market. They're still just as socialist as they were. In Venezuela elections, bringing migrants back home is on the ballot, 28 July 2024. DHS continues direct repatriations of Venezuelan nationals. You see, why is me just showing a picture that Donald Trump is smiling in, with, in this case, Prince Andrew, why is that unfair of me? This isn't a doctored picture in any way, shape, or form. This isn't a doctored picture, right? Video or two ago, shared a link where you could see Donald Trump in all his glory with a whole bunch of really young girls and his hands all over him. Why is that unfair? If you want to talk about really unfair, look no further. some of these numbers aren't exactly accurate. Like, for example, Patrioters, 570,000 subs, 41 million views. She had way more views than that. They came in multiple sweeps and forcibly deleted a lot of her videos, taking away those views. She's far more views than 41 million. My channel has about that many, and I only have about 128,000 subscribers. Lindley Oz, and I've only been making, to be fair, I've only been making videos since late 2016. So I'm just going on about 8 years now. Lindley Oz and the Patreoners have been on YouTube since, well, way before that. I don't want to say what year, but it's got to be 2010, 2009, something like that.
Wow, that's early. That's
Only 168,000 subscribers, only 51 million views. Abby Martin, also, the Empire Files, who tried to also tell the truth about Venezuela, banned. 374,000 subs at Empire Files, only 20 million views. And Jennifer Veterans for Truth, who actually had a real fix to a problem we faced, about 4 years ago. And people were using it, people were benefiting from it, and they loved it. And they banned her as well. Because they all had the ability to move the needle. So I guess, to me, it just falls on deaf ears when I hear people complain about Florida monkeys not fair to Donald Trump. Donald Trump's down to his last $4.7 billion. He's only got a little over 24 golf courses left. I mean, what's he going to do when he has to actually sell a golf course to pay for anything? I mean, he has, actually, I think it's closer to 36 golf courses, to be truthful, all around the world. $4.7 billion. All custom-made suits. Never wears the same one. Golfs all the time. Travels around in his own private jet. Has never had to probably fix his own meal his entire life. Never had to actually go to the kitchen and actually fix a meal for himself. Wash a dish. Go to the laundry, wash clothes, fold clothes, sweep a floor, change oil in a car, mow a lawn. And I hear people complaining that I'm being unfair to the man. It's just hilarious. People that are supposedly on the side of the working man. Expecting the world, even if I was being unfair, expecting the world to be fair. When this whole Make America Great Again thing, you know where it came from? Make America Great Again came from Ronald Reagan. Look it up. And he abolished the fairness doctrine because it violated free speech. He's basically, he's like, look, people are going to go out and people are going to say what they're going to say and they're going to have their opinions. We're not going to get the government in the business of saying, okay, you have spent 3 hours watching Fox News today, folks. We're going to mandatorily now change the channel on your TV so that you have to watch 3 hours of CNN. How many of you would like that in the name of fairness? If you want to tune in news, I'm sorry, you have reached your allotted amount of news watching that you have wanted to watch today of conservative media. Now, if you want to watch anything else, the channel is automatically going to tune itself to CNN. And once it's on, we're not going to let you shut it off. Yeah, you see, we're going to take control of your TV, take control of your computer, take control of your radio. And anytime you turn it on, for however many minutes it's on, it's going to be, being fair. Being fair, because we know that's the goal. Everybody has to be fair. So, once again, I guess maybe I should ask. Do you want me to talk about the angle that Jeffrey Epstein might have, maybe his defense of what he did? Should I talk about, I mean, everybody's talked about the negative parts of what Epstein did. Maybe we should talk about the positive parts and his point of view, huh? Same thing with Melania Trump. I mean, she's supposedly the classiest first lady ever, but yet she's also all over the internet wearing, well, I guess less than things than what people would call classy. Maybe we should have, discussion of why that should be allowed as well. For every image of her, wearing something appropriate, we should show images of her wearing something inappropriate, since they're out there. Fairness. Fairness. Hilarious. Ask these people about fairness. If you'd like to understand why you're so obsessed with fairness, join us. Florida Maquis Patreon channel. $1 per month, even for an entire year, and fully refundable first 90 days, no questions asked. God bless. Pray for each other. Pray for me. I'll pray for you. Also, pray for Lynn Liaz, Patriot Nurse, Jennifer LaFontaine, Jennifer Veterans for Truth to some of you, and Abby Martin. Pray for them. Lift each other up. Like, share, subscribe. See you guys.
Everyone knows that 8 inches is the best size of all. If you want to double your bolt size, you must stop everything and try this powerful actor's blood flow trick to the one area where...
The fuck? All right, we're ending it here. Thanks for watching, everyone.